I think that the bold decision that was taken by the president and the excellent performances of the American Air Force, and nobody else, no Air Force in the world can do anything similar to that. This is an essential step in order to make sure that Iran will not possess nuclear weapon. Imagine that one of these ballistic missiles that was shot to Qatar, to Israel, could have carried a weapon of mass destruction. This can be a disaster, not only for the region, but for the world. Therefore, we need to avoid it. And in this meaning, in this region, in the Middle East, peace comes through strength. Unfortunately, you need to explain the aggressor that there are limits to what they can do. And the Iranians were very, very close to possess a nuclear weapon.
We'd like to know more about what could happen next, Mr. Gallant, based on the extent that you're still in touch with your contacts. How broad and at what scale could be this response from Iran? We have reports of 10 missiles in the air. So far, it appears those fired toward Qatar have been intercepted. Will Iran need to resort to terrorism if it cannot strike militarily against the U.S.?
I think that the major tool that Iran has and will try to use is ballistic missiles, also other type of missiles and drones. And they are shooting them against Israel in the recent 2 years, and especially during the last week. And I believe they made a grave mistake by retaliating against American base and American interests, because I'm sure that the president will retaliate or order to retaliate exactly as he promised in the past. And the proportions between the Iranian capabilities and the Americans are bringing Iran to a very low point, to the corner. And I think that the Central Command, CENTCOM of the U.S. Army will retaliate against them in order to explain what is the meaning of such a behavior. But we are lucky that all these missiles were intercepted in the air. And let me say that for me, the lives of Americans and the life of American soldiers are as dear as the life of Israeli soldiers. I started to train with American soldiers when I was commanding the Navy SEALs, the Israeli Navy SEAL, 40 years ago. And I appreciate them, and they are very dear for me, and I value very much their performances and their abilities. And we will do anything that we can in order to support American efforts, intel and anything else needed.
Well, General, as we consider the support that Israel might need and has gotten from the U.S., while Qatar has successfully intercepted this attack from Iran, obviously not all of the missiles and et cetera that Iran has sent Israel's way over the course of the last week or so have been intercepted. How should we consider Israel's own air defense capability if Iran were to introduce more advanced missiles into this fighting? Is that something Israel is prepared for and can withstand for potentially a prolonged period of time?
Oh, yeah. You know, this war started recently, but last autumn, on September, we eliminated Hezbollah. And on October, we made two major steps when we retaliate against Iranian aggression when they were shooting at us 200 ballistic missiles on October 1st. We retaliate, and actually we create and pave the way for what we are seeing now. Once we almost demolish all their ability to manufacture ballistic missiles, so they stay with the arsenal they have, around 2,000, maybe 2,500 ballistic missiles when they start with. And second, we were able to pave the way to Tehran and to create a corridor and later on air superiority. That also was part of the assist that we gave to the Americans when they hit Fordo. So looking on the situation, the Iranian will suffer heavy damage and heavy casualties and everything that is either Revolutionary Guard or military bases or regime bases. This all is exposed to Israeli and American potential retaliation. So in one hand, we are well equipped to protect ourselves. We are able to engage and detect the missile launchers on the ground, and we are doing it successfully. We degraded them from 400 to, I believe, less than 200. And with America retaliating from bases and carriers, I think that the Iranians are in a very bad position. And that means that for them, they should stop and accept the conditions that President Trump put on the table. Otherwise, we will do it by force. But you cannot allow a country that is based on irresponsible regime to possess nuclear weapon in the center of the Gulf.
You mentioned Fordo. It is possible the IAEA will never get inside Fordo, and there are questions in Washington and around the world about the extent to which the U.S. eliminated the entire facility or whether there could be something left over. Will Israeli special forces go there firsthand, in person, to find out?
Well, Fordo is a few hundred feet under the surface.
Yeah. Can you access that facility in person?
We know this. We know these places, and we know what was going over there. We believe that the American mob that was dropped from the B-2s was penetrating Fordo, and America has the ability to retake those places if needed. Anyhow, I think that the whole system under the ground was collapsed, together with what was happening in Natanz and with other facilities that are dealing with the Iranian nuclear program in Isfahan and in Kashan, Natanz, and other places. I think that we set them back by many years. And if you look on the general picture, including what happened to the protecting shells that they created in the past, like Hezbollah and Hamas and the Syrians, everything collapsed, including the Iranian air defense. So they are very exposed. And the regime is fighting for their life. And this is the reason, I believe, that they need to retaliate. Otherwise, the 90 million Iranians will understand that the regime is very weak, and this is an option to change the regime by the people in Iran. Therefore, they need to show strength to their own people. But it's a grave mistake because they are going to lose more and more assets because of those directions. Every day, we are setting them back by a few months.
Well, as you allude to the idea of regime change here, do you believe that is Israel's ultimate objective in this war or this conflict? Do you believe there's alignment between Israel and the U.S. in that regard?
I don't think that this is a declared aim, a declared goal of war. The goal of the war is to make sure that Iran will never possess nuclear weapon and to destroy their ability to produce fissile material and weapon system that activate it by eliminate the scientists and the centers that deal with that. But having said that, air attack, air campaign cannot change a regime. But on the other hand, it weakened the regime. And in this aspect, it gives the people of Iran the opportunity to change the regime if this will be their choice. we cannot, and I don't think that we are aiming to change the regime from the air campaign. But the international media, together with the people in Iran, and the air campaign that Israel and the United States are holding against Iran, can create conditions for the people in Iran.
Mm-hmm. If you're with us on Bloomberg TV or on YouTube or Bloomberg Originals, we're showing you the first video that we have of missiles being shot toward Qatar, where they were intercepted. This is home to the massive U.S. airbase that we've been describing, and the Iranian retaliation, if you're just joining us, that began shortly after 12 noon Eastern time. Yoav Gallant, in our final moment of conversation, do you expect that we'll see Israeli forces on the ground in Iran?
I don't think so. I don't think it is needed. And I'm not sure that the effect of it is something that is needed. Iran is a big place, huge comparing to Israel. Mm-hmm. It's 60 or 65 times larger than Israel. The population is 9 times bigger. The Iranian people are not our enemy. And we are fighting to eliminate their ability to possess nuclear weapon, because, you know, on every missile, it is written death to Israel and also death to America. And if they possess nuclear weapon, they will use it. Therefore, as a Holocaust survivor son, a son of a Holocaust survivors, for me, never again is not just a commitment. For me, never again is a manual. We are working according to it, and we need to make sure that those who threat to eliminate Israel, and by the same words, the Jewish people, who majority of it stay in Israel, the meaning is that they are serious about it. So we need to take preemptive actions, and that's what we are doing.